Hello students. So I am here with the second chapter, which is chemical changes and reactions. So before starting the chapter, always go through the syllabus which is given here. This is the ICSE syllabus for class 9. So that are the important things which you have to study in this chapter. So type of chemical changes, direct combination, decomposition, displacement, double decomposition, and also the energy changes in chemical change, exothermic and endothermic reactions. So these are the syllabus for chapter 2, and I am going to start this chapter with the first topic of chemical change. Okay, so what do you mean by chemical change? Many times you have studied already. What is a chemical change? Chemical change, of course, it is a permanent change in which the chemical composition of the substance is changed with the formation of new products and new properties. Okay, so it is a permanent change. New substance are formed, and these new substance shows the new properties. Okay, now what do you think, what happens during a chemical change? If a question is asked, what happens during a chemical change? Actually, during a chemical change, the old bonds are broken down, and this process requires energy. So by absorbing energy, the old bonds are broken, and then new bonds are formed with release of energy. Okay, so chemical reaction involves breaking of old bonds which require energy, and yes, then formation of new bonds which releases energy. So both the type of energy changes takes place, and yes, this net, there will be always a net energy change, because the energy which is absorbed during the formation of for the breaking of old bonds will never be equal to the energy which is released in the formation of new bond. So there will be a net energy change during a chemical reaction, because in a physical reaction or a physical change, the energy which is required in one step is equal to the energy which is released in the reverse process. So you can't say that there is a net energy change, but in a chemical reaction, the energy which is absorbed in one process will always not equal to the energy which is released in the reverse process. Now coming to next point, that is chemical bond. Actually, when atoms are unstable means when their valence shell is not complete. So in order to complete their valence shell, they need to combine. And for their combination, they may lose, gain or share their electrons with the other atoms in order to become stable. Now once they have lost, gained or shared their electrons, now they are in the form of a chemical bond. They will be attached together. Okay, now they will never get separated by any physical method once the atoms are combined. I told you why they are combined. They are combined in order to attain stability. Okay, so one may have lost the electron and other may have gained the electron. So both are becoming stable, and now they are added with each other, and now they will never get separated by any physical method, and now they are held together by a chemical bond. So how can you define a chemical bond? What is a chemical bond? Chemical bond, of course, it will be the force of attraction which holds the atoms of a molecule together. Okay, so it is of course a very strong force of attraction which hold the molecules together. For example, H2O. It is a molecule of water which is formed when two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, they are joined. Now these two are the chemical bonds. Okay, these are the chemical bonds which are formed between the single oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms, and now they are joined together by these chemical bonds. So actually this is a force of attraction which will hold these three atoms together, and they will never get separated by any physical method. हम physically इनमें से तीनों में से एक भी atom को अलग नहीं कर सकते हैं. We can separate them only by chemical means. Okay, so these are nothing, just the chemical bonds or the force of attraction. Now coming to the next topic of this chapter, which is condition necessary for a chemical change. Okay, so when the atoms are going to combine, or they are going to participate in a chemical change, you can't be sure that every time the reaction will automatically start. No, they need some condition to start the chemical reaction. So what are the various conditions? There are 6 or 7 main conditions which are required by chemical reaction to start. Okay, it doesn't matter that all the reactions have to be given. Okay, 1 or 2 conditions are required for most of the chemical reaction to start. So coming to the first condition which is required for a chemical chain, number 1 is close contact. I think this is the change which is, this is the condition which is required for every chemical chain. Without bringing the reactants in contact, you can't expect any reaction to start. अगर आप 2 reactant को अलग अलग कंटेनर में रख दो और आप सोचो कि ये रिएक्ट करेंगे, do you think it is possible? No, it is never possible for any reactant to start before coming in contact with each other. So that is the very first condition which is the most important and necessary condition for a chemical change to occur. It is a close contact. So any example you can give here, for example lead nitrate and potassium iodide. These two reactants when they are brought in close contact, जब इन दोनों को साथ में रखा जाएगा, साथ में मिक्स किया जाएगा, then only they will react and give you 2 new products in the form of potassium nitrate and lead iodide. Okay, so first important condition is a close contact, without which the reaction will never start. Second important condition, understand what is this condition means. Solution. Solution means either in molten or in their aqueous state. If you find the state of reactants, you will see that most of the reaction they occur speedily in their aqueous state and they occur rapidly in their gaseous state. The slowest rate of reaction will be seen in their solid state. You know the reason. In solids the atoms are closely packed and they have very strong force of attraction. The vibration, they can only vibrate, there is very minimum motion in the atoms or the molecules. So these are the restrictions which due to which the molecules in solids they can't react. So if they are mixed in their solid form, then they will not start the reaction. But if they are mixed in their aqueous state का मतलब, for example I have considered one equation here, sodium chloride and silver nitrate. These are the 2 salts. Sodium chloride is very common, that you know, that is a common salt, the edible salt, and silver nitrate is also another type of salt. So if you mix these 2 salts in their solid state, no reaction will proceed. But if you dissolve these salts in water and then you mix their aqueous solution, then you will see that readily the reaction will start with the formation of white precipitate of silver chloride and sodium nitrate, which is also in aqueous state. So this is also the second condition. Second condition means the reactants react in their solution form rather than their solid form. Okay, so first you can convert these reactants in their aqueous state by dissolving in water, or you can also convert in their molten state, but it is very difficult because for making them in molten state, उसको पिघलाने के लिए you have to heat these reactants at very high temperature and you have to maintain that temperature till the reaction ends. जब तक रिएक्शन ख़त्म नहीं हो जाता तब तक उतना हाई टेम्परेचर आपको बरकरार रखना पड़ेगा. दैट इज़ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट. सो वी प्रिफर द एक्वस स्टेट in which the reactants are mixed and readily react. Now the third condition is heat. Many reactions आपने उनको क्लोज कॉन्टैक्ट में भी रख दिया, आपने उनको सोल्यूशन फॉर्म में भी कर दिया, बट स्टिल दे आर नॉट रिएक्टिंग बिकॉज दे रिक्वायर हीट. Most of the decomposition reactions they absorb heat to start. Okay, so on giving a large amount of heat, then only the compound will decompose. Decompose means break into 2 or more simpler substances. So here the example of decomposition of calcium carbonate is given. So only on heating it will decompose to give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, so heat is also one of the condition. Next condition is presence of light. Some reactions doesn't matter whether they are in close contact or in their solution form, but still they require presence of light or sunlight. Such reactions are called photochemical reaction. Okay, some reactions some reactions start only in presence of sunlight, and such reactions are called photochemical reaction. The very common example is of course photosynthesis. It is a process in which the plant prepare their own food in presence of air, water and sunlight. You have studied many times. So carbon dioxide and water, when they combine in presence of light, they will give glucose as a food for plants with evolution of oxygen gas. So this is also a light photochemical reaction. One more example is formation of HCl, hydrogen chloride. When hydrogen and chlorine are mixed in presence of diffused sunlight. Diffused word I have written because direct sunlight is not required. If you give direct sunlight, the reaction will start explosively, violently. बहुत तेज़ी से रिएक्शन होगा जो कि एक्सप्लोजिव हो सकता है. इसलिए हम डिफ्यूज सनलाइट को प्रेफर करते हैं. और अगर डार्क में ये रिएक्शन, डार्क में हमने कोशिश की, इफ़ यू आर मिक्सिंग देम इन डार्क, देन द रिएक्शन विल नॉट स्टार्ट एट ऑल बिकॉज इट रिक्वायर द लाइट. ओके, सो फॉर्मेशन ऑफ HCl इज ऑल्सो अ photochemical reaction which requires diffuse sunlight. And yes, the least reactive elements like silver, like mercury, okay, these are the least reactive metals, and their compounds, they get easily decomposed when they are exposed to light. जो least reactive metals होते हैं उनके compound ज़्यादा stable नहीं होते हैं, तो उनको हीट करने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं. आप उनको लाइट में ही रख देंगे तो वो अपने आप डिकम्पोज हो जाएंगे, एंड दे विल गेट डिकम्पोज टू गिव द रेस्पेक्टिव मेटल. नाइट्रोजन, ये नाइट्रेट हमने लिया था ना, सिल्वर का नाइट्रेट था, तो अगर नाइट्रेट को डिकम्पोज करोगे आप तो NO2 ज़रूर इवॉल्व होती है. सो व्हेन सिल्वर नाइट्रेट इज kept in presence of light, it will decompose to give you silver back, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So this is about the photochemical reaction. Now the reaction which involve presence of electricity. Many reactions starts or initiate only in presence of or passing electricity. Such reactions are called electrochemical reaction, which are initiated by passing electricity. So one very common example is decomposition of water. Water get decomposed readily by passing electricity. अगर आप electricity impure water के through, pure water से electricity conduct नहीं होगी because water is a bad conductor of electricity. So little bit impurity has to be added. आप tap water use कर सकते हैं, so it will conduct electricity and it will break into hydrogen and oxygen. So it is decomposition by passing electricity. Then this type of decomposition is known as electrochemical decomposition. Then sodium chloride. If you take molten NaCl, जो आपका एडिबल सॉल्ट है, उसको अगर आप मेल्ट कर लेते हैं देन ओनली इट विल कंडक्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. सॉलिड NaCl इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट नहीं कर सकता, तो या तो आप उसको मेल्ट करेंगे और यू हैव टू डिजॉल्व इट इन वाटर. सो इफ इट इज़ टेकन इन मॉल्टन स्टेट, इट विल कंडक्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड गेट डिकम्पोज टू गिव यू सोडियम एंड क्लोरीन. Okay, so these are the electrochemical reaction. Now next condition is pressure. Some reaction in presence of heat, light, electricity, nothing matters. They start only by applying high pressure. So very important and common example is Haber's process, in which ammonia is produced. So when nitrogen and hydrogen, they are mixed, and a high temperature of 450 degrees Celsius is given, catalyst is also there, but still the reaction will not start unless and until they are given a high pressure of 200 atmosphere. So when these gases are combined at high pressure of 200 atmosphere, then only they will give you ammonia. So this is the reaction which is favored by high pressure. Then the last important condition is presence of catalyst. Catalyst, you know, these are the substance which enhance, increase or decrease the rate of reaction without participating in the reaction. Okay, so if the reaction is going very slow, the catalyst may increase the rate of reaction, or if the reaction is going very fast, then the catalyst may slower down the rate of reaction but without participating in the reaction. So here few examples are given. Decomposition of potassium chlorate. अगर आप इसको decompose करके तोड़ना चाहते हैं, it requires very high heat. But if you take manganese dioxide as a catalyst, in presence of manganese dioxide, the decomposition becomes easier and takes place at much lower temperature. बहुत कम temperature पर ही वो decompose हो जाता है. Same is the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. It decomposes readily in presence of manganese dioxide, which is also acting as a catalyst to give water and oxygen. And if we are talking about catalyst, then always remember the role of promoters here. Promoters are always used with catalyst in order to improve or increase the efficiency of the catalyst. catalyst. Okay, so here I have finished the conditions required for the chemical reaction. Next we will do in the next video.